Dan, this is episode 10 that we're recording right now. 10
No
episodes in.
way.
Yep.
I would have said 6.
Nope. That's 20 D's coming at you. That's so many D's coming in your face. You'll need a windshield wiper, dude.
Dude, have you seen the football announcer moments where like they say
Oh,
things
yeah.
that are just so, and it's like the wives sitting on the couch and they're like, what are they listening to or what are they
Exactly.
watching?
Coming up hard from behind, like, oh, he got all ball and he still put it away. Like he took every bit of that one. And all the women are like, ooh, they're like their ears perk up and they're starting to pay attention to sports.
They feel like they're reading one of those romance novels. We were playing pickup basketball out in Colorado, and we would play like 5 a.m. And we're playing one day. Well, normally you tell somebody if a defender's like sneaking up on them, and we're like in the middle of one guy's just a clean breakaway down the court, and one of the other guys goes, "Coming on your back." And the guy with the ball literally just stopped, set the ball down, and walked off the court just laughing. He couldn't keep it together. And we're just like, all right, maybe just yell wolf instead,
What is it about, like, there's a difference, obviously, between men and women where if someone says the word jizz, I laugh out loud. But if I say the word jizz to my wife, she doesn't find that funny at all.
No, we are all immature boys.
Yeah.
We did field day with the kids yesterday, and I was talking with another dad about that. He's like, dude, isn't it like we were playing tug of war, adults versus kids?
Yep.
And he's just like, dude, there's just something about being a guy. Like, we're just larger children. That's it. We have the same sense of humor. Like, me and the kids, we're doing like potty jokes all the time. I'm like, dude, you better check your underwear. And the kids think it's so funny. And my wife is like, not at the table. Oh my gosh, stop it.
I guess you need some kind of balance, but, and I think that's what women don't understand about men is that we are, in fact, just large children who have much more testosterone like running through your body. It like if I was to write a book on like how to treat a man, how to make a man happy, it would be 1 page long. It might even be 1 paragraph long.
Sex, sandwich, sleep.
Exactly.
Done.
Maybe add respect in there.
Yeah.
Add a little respect, right? Holy cow. But do you know how the women's list? It's infinity.
I have a note in my phone, and it's titled, it's a shared note from my wife that says, "Ways Sam feels loved." And dude, we don't fight very often. Like, I mean, we don't get into like big blow up fights.
Mm-hmm.
And the other day I came home and she was just not happy with me. And she's like, "When's the last time you looked at the note list?" And I was like, oh, shoot. She can see when the last time it's been opened is. And I'm like, oh, crap.
So that's a form of communication that you guys have is when she needs something from you, she'll type it there and then you'll go to your phone and look at it.
So, well, she's told me over the years, like, here's different ways that I feel loved. If like doing something thoughtful, cooking for me, planning a date instead of us just being like, all right, where are we eating tonight? And so it's like really, really basic things that me is like, I should know as a husband, hey, here's a couple things. And in the moment, I mean, you know how it is. We have one thing on our mind at any given time.
All the
it's
time,
like,
yeah.
I'm working on this project. This is what I'm not thinking about my kids. I'm not thinking about how to make my wife happy. I'm not thinking about the fact that the truck needs an oil change. I'm focused on this project. And so it's like out of sight, out of mind. And so she's like, would it help if I made a note, like a list? That way, when you are thinking about me, and you do want to do something, you can go in that list, pick something out, and do it. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be super helpful. And then it's only helpful if I remember to look at it. So,
Well, you're a better man than me, man. I do dishes. I do laundry. I cook breakfast for the entire family every single morning. I do a lot of things throughout the day, and I feel like that should be enough. But there's times
no.
where it's it's almost like, okay, it's like it's like walking through a minefield and being like, where's it at today? Like, what do I got to do today? Like,
I'm going to walk the same path that I always walk. Wait, where'd
yep,
this mine come from?
exactly,
Yep.
exactly. So I don't know, man. It's crazy, but we got big news, dude. Big
I
news.
got to hear it.
Okay. I was doing a little research on all of the different types of douchebags that there are in the world, and I found a new one for us to discuss.
I'm all in.
Dude, dudes who ride motorcycles, and mostly it's like a crotch rocket, Suzuki type of ninja type of motorcycle, who record themselves while they're riding their motorcycle, and then like go out of their way to start confrontations with other drivers or humans.
Yeah. Oh, they own the road.
They
They
own
get to
they
do
try to
whatever
own
they
the road.
want.
Yep.
And
Yep.
if you have a problem with it, they're like, I'll headbutt you with my helmet, bruh.
Yep. Yep. Or, hey, dude, you just took a wrong turn. I almost died. No, you didn't almost die, buddy. Meanwhile, these sons of bitches are driving through traffic, like going in and out and popping wheelies on the street. And then
Yep.
they're like, oh, we didn't do anything wrong. And then they get their ass beat.
Oh, dude. The instant karma moments
Oh,
online
yes.
are, I dive into those hard. And my wife's like, oh, how can you watch that? The
Mm-hmm.
guy's nose just got broke. I'm like, that's why I watched it.
Yes.
I went through all three parts. I had to click on the dude's profile so I could see part 3 where his nose got broke. Like,
Yes.
I will go out of my way. My problem is my son sees those guys
Mm-hmm.
doing wheelies on the highway, and he's just like, that is so cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not cool at all.
Yeah. It's almost like being a douchebag is a rite of passage. It's almost like we had to go through our douchebag stages to become less of a douchebag.
Yeah.
You
No,
know what I mean?
that's 100% true.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about it all the time. You would beat the crap out of yourself
Mm-hmm.
20 years ago. Like, that guy was an idiot. I look at pictures of me. We just got our first book in, like the first actual printed copy of our book, and I was going through looking, and there's pictures all over in it from like us as a family. And I looked at it and I'm like, dude, I was such an idiot. Like, I was so stupid, just doing the dumbest crap. And then my wife's like, you guys need a TV show for guys night, because like it would be Jackass combined with Duck Dynasty combined with, West Coast Choppers. I mean,
A weird version of Shark Tank for some reason, like of all the
what
business ideas.
my buddy's got a boat. He's got a boat in his shop, and I have a list in my phone. This is a common theme.
Yeah.
I've got a note in my phone of everybody's guesses of when his boat would be done. The last time it was updated was 4 years ago.
Nice.
And
Seems like a
the
guy thing to do.
farthest guess, the latest guess of him getting it done was 3.5 years ago.
Nice.
And it hasn't made any progress at all. But that's just
Nice.
what we do. Like, you get together, hey, we got something to do. Too bad. We're going to push our buddy down a hill in a metal barrel.
Yeah.
Like, it's just how it goes.
So going back to this douchebag thing, are you prepared, and how do you think as a father you will handle your son going through his douchebag phase?
Man, I think it's just kind of learn by failing.
Yeah.
I could warn him all I want, but warning and preventing, all it does is prolong the D-bag phase.
Exactly.
You know, if you let him figure it out, like, dude, if he's being an idiot and some dude just punches him right in the nose,
Yep.
reality check instantly.
Yep.
You know, hey, man, that's what happens.
You
You're an
learned your
idiot.
lesson.
That, yeah, you're going to find out one way or the other. And I've learned that even just with them being little kids. Like, I can warn you 100 times until it happens and you have a consequence from it, you're not going to learn anything.
Right.
It's just in one ear, out the other. And so, yeah, I think I'm just going to let them roll with it.
Okay.
There's a certain point where if they get carried away, like, I'm going to let them know.
Yeah.
But as
Yeah.
a whole, I think every kid's got to go through that. Like, dude, you're an idiot. You're either a
See,
jerk, a loser, a bully, whatever,
nerd,
a nerd,
nerd.
and you're going to find out the hard way.
Yeah. I think I might take a different approach. I think I'm going to be vocal and about it, and I will say something along the lines of like, buddy, I have been through every stage of life that you have been through or are going to go through, and here is my advice for you. And I'll just be like, don't get frosted tips and wear Hawaiian shirts in college and wear seashell necklaces,
I
even
was just
though
about to say seashell necklaces.
and even though everybody else is doing it, girls do not dig that stuff. Just wear a regular t-shirt and jeans. Like
Yeah.
that's all you need to do. And actually it doesn't matter what kind of music you listen to. It doesn't matter like what your favorite sports are, whether you're into sports. It's really about how you dress.
Yeah.
Don't dress like a douchebag. Just like a t-shirt and jeans and tennis shoes. Like that's really it, dude. That's it.
Yeah. I like the trajectory that my son is on right now
Mm-hmm.
because he's not like the outgoing, like, I got to show off, I got to do this, I got to do that. He loves to compete, but he's pretty chill. Like,
Yeah.
he goes to school, there's new people around, and he just kind of hangs back and does his thing. And
Yeah.
people, like, other little kids are drawn to it. When I go to school for events, everyone's like, Canyon, what's up, man? Like, they're giving him a hug, a high five. They're like, I don't know how many times I've heard kids go, Canyon's my best friend. He's my best friend. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's kind of reassuring, but I'm like, dude, you don't do anything. Like,
Exactly.
you just show up and you do you all the
Yeah.
time. And it
Yeah.
seems to work. Meanwhile, there's these other kids who are like the popular kids at first,
Mm-hmm.
and then they lose all of their friends after high school, and nobody cares because they're tools the whole time. And people
Yeah.
think they have to be like that to be cool. When if you're just yourself, like, people are going to like it. So,
Well, there comes a time where like personality plays a bigger role with kids and friendships than, for example, like my son is fast as shit, and we had track and field day, and he got like fourth in the 100 meters. He would have got first, but he kept looking, or not first, second or third, but he kept looking backwards at the kids, slowing him down. He got second in the 200. They got I believe first in the 4x1 relay. Like he's very athletic, but that's going to come to an end at some point. Like that's how kids are judged
yeah.
at this age. It's like, oh, he's good at sports or he's fast on the playground. Um, Same thing. We go to school. Hi, Mac. Hi, Mac. Hi, Mac. Now girls are starting to say it. And
Ooh.
and he's at the dinner table yesterday. He goes, I think a girl in my school likes me. I'm like, why? Well, because she said she likes me. And she goes, I don't think I'm going to have a girlfriend until fifth grade. And I go, buddy, you do you. You got to do whatever you want. And then this, of course, is the woman coming into it. My wife now is like, oh my God, he doesn't want a girlfriend now. What's that mean? What's that mean? He doesn't want a girlfriend. You think he's gay? I've been thinking maybe he's gay. I'm just like, he's not gay, dude. Girls, just like video games and sports now, are more important than girls. Girls are going to come and they're going to play their part here pretty soon. But let's just hold off on that for a little bit, right? Just because a boy who's in fourth grade says he doesn't like girls yet, doesn't mean he's going to be like gay like his whole life.
Yeah.
So she's like, "Oh my God, what's going to happen?" I'm like, "Nothing's going to happen because nobody knows. He doesn't even know if what kind of chicken nuggets are his favorite yet. So just relax, lady."
See, I mean, for me, I could see my dad for sure being like, "Is everything okay with their son?" I had three older sisters, and
Yeah.
they would play dress up on me and my brother.
Yeah.
But it's like in the moment, I don't care. I'm getting attention from my
Yep.
sisters and all their friends, you know.
Yep.
I felt cool. And even though they're putting like dresses and makeup on me, I'm like, I'm in elementary school. Like that wasn't even kind of a thought.
Yep.
And so that point will come though where it's like, oh, oh, this is what all the hype's about.
Yeah. Exactly.
Whoa, that chick is hot, you know?
Yeah.
And that's my son is he still thinks his girlfriend is a girl that he went to school with in kindergarten.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you haven't seen her in 2 years. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you have a girlfriend? Yeah. What's her name? And he says her name, and I'm like, okay, all right, yep, that's your girlfriend, sure, whatever, you know. But the time's gonna come where
Yeah.
like him and my daughter, I have to actually start worrying about like attraction between them.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as my daughter's not attracted to some dude doing wheelies down the highway, I think I'll be okay.
What if first boyfriend moment? Dude shows up in a cat like some ninja. He's all dressed in like the full gear. He's got frosted tips. He's wearing a seashell necklace. And he shows up and he doesn't call you sir. He's like, "What up, bruh? Hey, bruh, what's up? I'm taking your daughter out tonight. Don't stay up because we don't know what time we're coming back." How are you going to react to that?
Dude, if that actual scenario played out, I would probably have to bring my daughter over and I would just roast the kid.
Just make fun of him right in front of her?
I would just roast him and be like, first of all, you are not getting on the back of any motorcycle ever. Not with some dude that's dressed like this. And yeah, I'd probably destroy him and then be like, hey, don't ever speak to my daughter again. Like
Later, dude.
I have no desire. My sisters did that out of nowhere. I was with my sister and her friend one time, and she had like a white Mustang, like a 90s Mustang, and she thought she was so cool. These two dudes pull up on motorcycles. She leaves me in the back of the car in a parking lot so her and her friend could go ride on the back of these motorcycles.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember in that moment going, dude, those guys, they got like, those are the cool guys. And I guarantee they had frosted tips
Yep.
or something stupid like that. They probably reeked of like Hollister perfume or cologne. and then they pull back. I mean, I'm sitting there for 45 minutes in this parking lot waiting for them to come back.
Mm-hmm.
They pull in, boom, cop pulls in right after them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, yep, that's going to be the last ride my sister has on a motorcycle.
Yep.
Like, they're going to call my mom, and the cop ended up being super cool. But yeah, in those moments, if any guy shows up to my house trying to take my daughter out and he's not what I want for her, dude, it's over.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, man. Wrong house.
So I got a buddy who, Nate from the Missouri Woods and Water podcast. Have you ever talked with him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we had this exact same conversation, and he's like, you cannot control it. And if you try to control it, then it's going to drive a wedge between you and your daughter because she is trying to grow up into this adult and you're trying to prevent her from doing that. And it's going to cause major conflicts. So it's almost like you just got to let it happen and let them find out their own, on their own way. And my daughter has had this boyfriend for 6 months, right? And when I say boyfriend, they've gone to 2 movies together, parent supervised with another group of kids. They very rarely text and or talk. I saw them at a baseball tournament. My son was playing and he was playing, and they walked by each other, didn't even look at each other or say hi to each other. Okay. And I'm like, wasn't that so-and-so? And he was like, yeah. Why didn't you say hi or talk? Well, that's not what we do. at this age. I'm like, okay, that seems weird, but okay. So last night she broke up with him
Ooh.
over text messages because he would not respond to her text messages and or play Fortnite with her when she wanted to. Okay, and I'm just like, she's like, I go, did you break up with him? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, like we don't need to go back and try to find another boyfriend right now, right?
Yeah.
Because 99.99999% of all relationships at your age do not last and they won't last. So you're wasting your time where you should be putting that on wrestling or dance or maybe going to church camp or something like that. Focus on that right now.
Yeah.
You don't need, that's just a waste of time and something you don't need to worry about. Oh, dad, like, and then she goes off on me about some crazy shit. And I'm happy that they broke up.
Dude, the whole idea of like middle school and high school flings, like I'm not worried about any of that in middle school. Like they're gonna test things, like they're gonna figure things out, and oh, he didn't say this to me, or he did this, or she did this, and it's like I couldn't care less. Once you get into high school, that's when I'm like, you really actually start figuring out what you like and what you don't like in people.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, if it's not the right guy, I totally get what you're saying about they're gonna they're gonna do what they want to do. You don't want to like put that in between, dude. If I have to, I don't even know what the phrase. If I have to expose this dude for who he is, he shows up. I'm like, hey, let me see your phone.
Yeah.
We'll see if you're texting any other girls right now.
Right off the
Let me
bat,
see.
you do that.
Oh, dude, let me see your social media.
Yeah.
Let me see your search history.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
boy.
dude, I don't care. Like, I couldn't care less if this kid's feelings get hurt or if he's like, that guy's a jerk, you know? Like, if it's not right for my daughter, it's not right for my daughter. And
Okay.
I think but she would see it, you know?
Yeah.
Who's
Yeah.
Michelle? Who's Sophie? Who's so and so? Like, why are you texting all them also?
Wow.
I couldn't care
You're not
less.
playing. You're not playing.
What's that movie with 50 Cent where the daughter brings this guy over, he's going to take her to
Oh,
prom,
yeah.
and they walk in the garage and all the dudes are standing there.
And he's
I
he's shitting his pants,
Dude, I
basically.
couldn't care less. So my dad, super religious guy,
Yeah.
right? He would my sister had a guy come to pick her up and he answers the door. He goes, "Hey, how's it going?" "Hi, sir. My name's so and so. I'm here to pick up Becky." And he goes, "Do you believe in Jesus?" Guy goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Do you speak in tongues?" The guy's like, "What does this even mean?" And my dad's like, "Listen, my daughter doesn't date anyone who's not a Christian." And he's like, "No, we go to church, sir. That's not what it means." Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
not destroying the guy, but just grilling him.
Yeah.
And the guy took her out. It lasted one date, and that was it.
Yeah.
And he's probably like, "Hey, this is
Your
not the
dad
family I
is
want to be
a
part of."
psychopath. Yeah, is
Oh,
what he probably thought.
oh, I guarantee it. But I
Yeah.
mean, I've had parents question me about all sorts of things. I dated this chick in high school, and it was probably my most serious relationship all throughout. I mean, it was probably my second most serious relationship, period,
Yeah.
that I had had. And she's like applying to Harvard and applying for all of these schools. And her dad's like, hey, he was like a big tech guy, sold medical equipment. He's like, "So where are you going to college?" Not planning on going to college. And immediately I could see him and his wife just like, "Nope,
Ditch
not
this
for
dude.
her.
Yeah.
Not going to work." We
Yeah.
still dated for like 4 or 5 months and then it was over.
Yeah.
But I'm like, there's certain things that I care about a lot and certain things that I'm like, dude, I don't care.
Yeah.
If you're a hard worker, I joke that my daughter will never date someone who can't work a ratchet strap. And people are like, "Why?" And I go, think about it. If you know how to use a ratchet strap the right way, you probably work hard.
I
I
can get
don't
on
know.
board with that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have
It's
you
the
seen
most
these?
basic tool as
Yeah.
well.
Have you seen these yuppie kids trying to work a ratchet strap?
I don't
And I'm
know.
like, this
Is
kid's
that a
never
thing?
got his hands dirty in his life.
Wow.
Yeah. Just help. Hey, come help me strap this down on the trailer real quick.
Yeah.
He comes out, he does it, he ties it off well so that the tag end's not going to be flapping everywhere. All right. You got my respect right there.
Right. Right. What do you think when you grow up, or the way your kids are acting right now? What do you see your children doing as a profession from where you're sitting right now when they grow up?
Dang. That's a tough one. I feel like my son is going to be into I think he's going to be like an engineer or
Okay.
something like that. The
Okay.
kid just loves to like I liked building Legos and stuff when I was a kid, but my son is building crap that I'm like, dude, you're 8 years old. How
Mm-hmm.
can you like how are you figuring this out? He built this airplane that has a transformer that you can't even tell. He built well like a robot that's part of the plane, and then the robot lifts up and disconnects, and then it's still a plane, and it's like no instructions or whatever. And he always talks about how science is his favorite thing in school, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, sweet. Like I wasn't expecting any of that. I think he's going to
Yeah.
be an athlete, but I think he's going to go into some type of science field or engineering or construction or architecture um, at this point. But who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah.
Before it was math. I mean, he was a math whiz when he was a
Yeah.
little kid. He was doing like addition into the thousands before he actually got into grade school. And I'm like, I don't know where he learned this from. He was messing with Rubik's cubes. He came up one day and he's just messing with it, going real slow, and then all of a sudden it's solved. And I'm like, how'd you do that? I don't know.
So he either got
Okay.
real lucky in all of his guesses, or maybe he's like a savant.
But it's funny because like those things come and go. Like he'll do really good. And part of it I think is the education system because with numbers, with addition, like he was years ahead of where he should have been.
Yeah.
And then he went to school and now he's just at the same level as everyone else.
Yeah.
And even with the Rubik's cube, he started bringing it to me and he's like, "Dad, can you solve this for me?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "Dude, I thought you had it. Like I thought you knew how to do this." "No, I can't figure it out." And so then I had to teach myself. I got sick of breaking it apart and rearranging everything. So I got online
You
and
cheated on a Rubik's Cube?
yeah, dude, I didn't know how to do a Rubik's Cube. And that's not something you just like, oh, here you go. And so I would just like pop the cubes off and put them where they're supposed to be. And then I got sick of doing that. So then I just hopped online and looked at videos on how to do it and learned how to do it. And so now he still brings it to me. But I'm like, dude, I need to teach you how to do this so that you can just do it and not need my help on it. But
Yeah.
that's also a crappy part of being a dad when the kids start doing things all on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, man, they don't need my help anymore. Like, this is
Exactly.
weird.
Exactly. What about your daughter?
Oh, dude, I don't even know. At this point, she's into gymnastics and then she's just an emotional wreck at all other times of the day.
So she'll be like a housewife of Orange County type
Dude,
of deal.
she's going to be like a crazy hairdresser or something.
Okay.
Like,
I can ooh, great
dude,
description.
I don't know, man. I mean, that's like, she's just a typical little girl. But
Yeah.
I will say, if she gets into like the workforce or like any type of company, she's going to climb to the top instantly. I watch her around all the kids and she just immediately takes control. Okay, guys, this is what we're going to do. Okay, I want you guys to be right here. You guys to be right here. Some kids are like, dude, I don't want to do that. And she's like, well, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess that's what we're doing. And yeah, she takes control all the time. And that's kind of how Sam is. So I'm like, I think they'll both be successful at whatever they want to do. But
Yeah.
there's no telling by the time they're older what they're going to do.
Yeah. My daughter, who is emotionally like dark. What I mean by that is there's not like a ton of like you don't look at her and go, "Oh, this chick's happy."
Yeah.
Like she has a resting bitch face. Okay. She's aggressive from a personality standpoint, which makes her a great wrestler. And so she, I envision her as like an attorney, or because she said she wants to maybe be a doctor. It's going to be a high paying job, high stress, high paying job. I'm thinking attorney, a defense attorney, or some kind of litigation where she's coming for blood type of
Dang.
job.
That'd be good. She's going to be
Yeah.
like Beth from Yellowstone.
Oh, kind of. God,
Like when you,
I hope part of that is true, but not the other crazy part of that. Like,
but
the,
if Beth could be your daughter, or if your daughter could turn into Beth and then she marries a Rip, I feel like that's just a win all the way around. Some
yeah,
tough dude who handles business, who
yeah,
works hard, who's loyal, like
yeah.
that'd be a
That's a
win. But
that's
she's
a win.
crazy.
Yeah,
She's a little crazy.
but the thing about that is Beth, in order to get to Rip, went through crazy amount of dudes early and often and drank a ton. And so like maybe we could skip all that part and just maybe find the Rip earlier.
Right away.
Right away. Yeah, like we don't need to go through all the other nonsense. My oldest boy, this is what I'm kind of excited about. He doesn't want to go to college. He
Yeah.
wants to go into trades. And so for a while there, it was plumber. For now, it's mechanic, car mechanic. Or I'm like, hey, buddy, car mechanic's great, but I think guys who work on diesel engines can make a little bit more money. And he's like tractors and backhoes and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah. So now he is thinking he wants to do something like that. But then he recently found out that teachers don't work in the summer. And he wants to do that a little bit because he wants to go fishing all the time. So
That's
there's
sweet.
that. And then my youngest son, who the hell knows? If he's going to do anything, it's going to be like he is going to be the most carefree, like, if I don't have a job right now, just crash on a couch. And, he'll be that kid who it's crazy because he can sit down and focus on coloring an entire page of a coloring book or putting together a Lego set for 1 hour at a time, extremely focused. But in order to get him to that point is difficult.
Yeah.
But once he makes the decision that he wants to do it, I think the dude is just going to maybe like, I can see him having a traveling YouTube show where he goes and goes to restaurants and just eats their appetizers. Like that's what that's his. He's a
Dude, I will
happy-go-lucky.
gladly be a guest on that show. That
Oh yeah,
sounds
dude.
incredible.
What's your favorite app at a restaurant to get?
Dude, I do boneless barbecue wings and mozzarella sticks. And I'll
Those are
eat like a third of a mozzarella stick with the boneless barbecue wing, and it's just killer.
so you mash them together.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
What do you eat?
I'm a bone-in chicken wing guy.
Okay.
I'm a bone-in chicken wing guy. A lot of times I will go into the bone-in chicken wing, but I will maybe do an onion ring sometimes. Not a lot. I don't do
Okay.
onion rings a lot. Cheese balls, obviously, like cheese curds,
Obviously.
Wisconsin cheese curds
Dude.
type of deal. But I'm gonna go with my number one: chips, queso, salsa.
Ooh.
Name a place or a location that chips and salsa or chips and queso, maybe even guacamole, would not be a good fit. I dare you.
Listen, I get chips and queso all the time. I just find myself more and more hating doing it because we eat 5 bowls of chips before the
Yeah.
meal gets there.
Yeah.
But I
And
will
they,
say, at a Mexican restaurant, I get shredded chicken nachos,
hmm
and they normally come on a big plate anyways. I just take the chips from the chips and queso, and I scoop some out, and I basically triple my order size, and then I have like a whole plate to take home.
there you go. That's some man smarts right there, my
Oh yeah.
friend.
Oh, dude, I've learned to play the system. It's funny because like my wife she's always been about doing like cutting out coupons for
Hmm
whatever. And then I have someone like my dad who I'm like, you're a low key con artist. That's what you are. He
hmm
calls me one day, he goes, "Hey Dan, I figured something out at Culver's." Okay, what's up? If you buy a $25 gift card, you get a free value basket. Oh, that's cool. So what I do is every day I go to Culver's and I buy a new gift card with with the gift card. I said, "What?" He goes, "Yeah. I buy a new
Dude,
gift card with the gift card, and then every day I get a free value basket." And I go, "They let you do that?" He goes, "Not at first." He's like, "I'm in the drive-through," and they're like, "Wait, you're paying for a gift card with the gift card? I don't think you can do that." And he goes, "What you mean? This money's no good here?" He's like bullying these high school kids in the drive-through window into giving him a new gift card, just swapping them out. And he did that. He did that. It was like around Christmas time, probably 2 or 3 years ago. And then the next year he went back, and he's like, they like corporately made a rule against it. You have to pay cash for the gift card. And I'm like, you just screwed everybody out of this because you cheated the system. He's like, yeah, but I would just do a different Culver's every day. And I'm like, you're crazy, man.
that is bananas.
Yeah.
That that is working the system and just going for like and not caring. I don't think you can do that. Well, actually, why don't you show me on any literature that says I can't do it? And
Yeah.
actually, if you're not going to do it, I'd like to speak with your manager. Like I had a buddy in high school and in college that we would go out to eat with. And he would literally work a waitress until his meal was free.
Dude.
I mean, it was like, actually, when I and he would give him like a complex order, like I would like my cheese on the side, or I would like I want a cheeseburger with no cheese, or some crazy shit.
That they're not
Uh,
going to get right.
yeah, I would like this replaced with this, and I want this and this, and then he comes back and it's like, I'm sorry, this isn't what I asked for. I'd like to speak with your manager. Instantly, he would go there, and he would be like, I my money I work hard for my money. I come out, I'm trying to take my wife here out, and we're having a good meal, and you guys can't even get my order right. How am like, and just work them. And it was extremely embarrassing to go out to eat with him
I
because he
can't
would
deal
just
with that,
work them.
man.
No, work
I
them.
can't deal with that. I've never been a waiter.
Yeah.
Sam was, and she's like, I dealt with people like that all the time. But
Yeah.
I grew up in that family.
Yeah.
My dad would do that. My grandpa would do that. One of my sisters still does that. And I'm like, you're dealing with minimum wage employees back in the
Exactly.
kitchen,
This isn't
and
corporate
you're
like
berating the
restructuring.
waitress. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you saved $12? Like,
Yeah.
how about I give you $12 and you shut up while we're eating? Like, there you go. Your meal's free.
That
And
is
it's
that
like,
a
oh,
that's another version of douchebag.
it is. It
Yeah.
100%. Dude, I don't
100%.
complain anywhere. If I
Yeah.
ask for no onions on something and they put onions on it, I take the onions off of it.
Yeah. I
Excuse me, I didn't order onions on this.
yeah.
I need to talk to someone about this.
Yeah.
Talk to your waitress. Say, hey, when she asks, hey, how is everything?
Mhm.
Oh, this came with onions, but I took them off.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry about that. You'll probably get the same response and you won't look like a jerk.
Yeah, exactly. Um I went out to eat on Mother's Day, okay? And the place we went was understaffed. Okay, there was empty seats. There was a 30-minute wait. There was empty seats in there, and we ordered our appetizer, and the food runner took them to the wrong table, and the other
Oh.
table, I don't even think they ordered yet. They just accepted it, and they started eating the food. And meanwhile, I was like, well, I think that was supposed to go over here. And my wife has no patience. She's like, that was ours. That was supposed to be ours. And so our waitress comes out and she's like, well, did they bring your food? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I think it went to the wrong table. I'm very patient. I didn't want to be that jerk. But after a while, we're there for like, we're going on 45 minutes and we've only had our drinks. And you're like, okay, I just got to ask, are we looking like, what's it looking like for our appetizers? Because the one thing that frustrates me, and maybe I'm a douchebag for thinking about this, but I hate it when I put in the app order, the apps come, and then 1 minute later, the main course comes.
Yep.
Like, the whole point of an app is to like start everything off, talk with people, all these apps are good. Like that's the whole point of an appetizer. And then maybe 15, 20 minutes later, then the food comes.
Yep.
So that's one thing I get worked up
Yeah.
about. Maybe it's stupid.
Bringing it out at the same time is never right.
Yeah.
But I'm in the same exact boat, super patient with any type of service at all.
Yeah.
My wife is like, excuse me, calls him over, or she'll be like, the worst is when she's like, hey babe, can you grab that waitress when she comes by and tell her? And I'm like, please, no. Like, I really don't want to do this. This is so uncomfortable. But she's been craving, at Sonic, they have a dirty Coke, is what it's called.
Oh, by the way, she's pregnant. For people who are just now, Dan's wife is pregnant, and now she's going through the cravings.
Dude, she's craving just the weirdest things. But dirty Coke is like her go-to.
What's dirty Coke?
A dirty Coke, it's a Coca-Cola with coconut juice in it and lime. And that's it. Or it's like coconut cream and lime. And she's losing her mind about it. Every single day she gets a dirty Coke. Well, she doesn't want her dirty Coke with ice in it. So when I go to get it for her, I have to get a dirty Coke with no ice. And then I say, also, could I get a cup of ice? And I sound like a crazy person.
Mm-hmm.
But she's like, well, they put too much ice. There's hardly any drink in it. I'm like, I get that side of it. So then what she does is I bring it home and she pours a little bit of ice in it, drinks it, then pours some more ice in it, drinks it, pours some more ice in it. And I'm like, hey, you're getting more out of your money. That's totally fine. 90% of the time they put ice in it. And so then I have to be at the window and I squeeze the cup and I'm like, this was supposed to be no ice. And they're just like, okay. So then they make it, they act like it's super inconvenient for them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, trust me, I don't want to be in this position right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to be having to correct you on your job.
Yep.
For me, if I order a root beer and they send me a Fanta, I'm like, I guess I'm drinking Fanta.
Right.
Like, you know
right.
what I mean? Like, that's how passive I am when it comes to that stuff.
Do you ever blatantly rat out your wife or somebody because my wife is like, hey, listen, I want it this way and I want it this way and it's specific. And then you go up and you can see whoever is taking the order of whatever you're doing. I mean, it could be one in a million different things. You can see they're like, oh my God, like this is ridiculous. And I always kind of, I'm like, hey, listen, man, this is my wife's deal.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want me to do because I have two options. I can sit here and not bring back what she asked. And then guess what? She's going to come up here.
Yeah.
You don't want to deal with her. You want to deal with me. So all I'm asking is for you to take 5 extra steps and make this complicated thing. It's not going to take too long. If you could do that, I would really appreciate it. And then like most of the time, especially like if it's an adult male, they're like, I understand, dude.
I
Like,
got you.
I got you, man. I got your back. Like, they understand.
I'll put a chocolate on top of you on it for you. I'm, I just say, like, I play the pregnancy card,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that it's super easy. I think I'm going to play the pregnancy card forever.
That's exactly what you should be doing. Play that
Just,
pregnancy card.
hey, I know this is complicated. My wife's pregnant. This is what she's craving. You say that, they're going to get it right.
Yeah. Yep.
And they don't know. They're not going to go check.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is going to be when they come over when she's not pregnant and they're like,
Yeah.
congratulations, your husband told me. She'll be like, he told you what?
Exactly. Exactly.
They just
Just
play
shut
along.
up, dude.
You're pregnant
Don't.
for the day.
Yeah. We have this local American Legion in our town where all of these events happen.
Yeah.
And on Tuesdays is taco night. Order a taco. You have two options: soft shell or hard shell taco, and taco pizzas. Both are really good. Love going there. My wife sits there, and these people are not making. I don't know if they're making any money other than tips. I think the people who are working at the American Legion are probably volunteers of some sort.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And so we go, and my wife is like, "Well, I would like a taco salad." And the lady is like, "Well, we don't have taco salads." And my wife is like, "Well, put it in a bowl without the shell, everything except the shell in there. That's what I want." And the lady was very confused, where a normal person should just be able to figure this out, right? Okay, it's a taco without a shell. Just put it in here, add all the stuff, you're done. But this lady was like making it way more difficult. And then we have a difficult offer with a difficult person, and it clashed. And my wife was just like, who does she think she is? It's so like, I'm like, this is a taco. Like, it's all about a taco. Like, you're getting mad over a taco. Maybe, like, just like what me and you were describing, order a taco, take the damn shell out of it,
Yeah.
off of it. Eat it. It's the same
Two
price.
tacos, dump them out.
Yep.
Taco salad. I'll eat
There
the
you go.
tortillas.
Exactly. I'll eat the stuff you don't want. I don't care.
Yeah.
So I love having to jump through the hurdles of life, especially when people that you love make your life more difficult.
Oh my gosh, dude. It's a constant thing for us.
Yeah.
Hey, before we keep going, you mind if I
Yep.
run out there quick? I just got a call from them and they're going to need a go ahead to actually hold on.
While Dan is on his phone here real quick, he is in communication with his landscaper / construction company friends who are doing your backyard project. And
Dude, just dealing with contractors, electricians, plumbers, concrete. The landscapers are super chill. Like, they have their plan and they've just been running with it. But it's all the extra stuff, like a new pool cover. That was a nightmare. I called 4 different times yesterday, and they still didn't get a time scheduled to come out and put a new cover on my pool. Anyways, just had to confirm that I'm going to be paying people more money. So that's all. Just spending money.
what happens? Like, I love this is white people American problems. Like, imagine going over to Africa and people living in a hut and going, "Dude, let me tell you about my day. I had to work with this guy who we're installing a pool cover on our pool." And this other guy's like, well, I finally found food for my family today."
Yeah. Well, my nephew got eaten by a crocodile.
Crocodile. Yep.
I'm like, are you?
Boo-hoo, your pool cover.
Yeah. Dude, I saw a thing the other day from Africa. There's a village that's getting like tormented by this giant crocodile, like a huge, huge crocodile. So they went out and they drove these giant, like, essentially tree trunks in the ground, right? They made these
Telephone
huge
poles.
poles.
Yep.
And they drove them all the way around where they go and fill up their water. And so they come up onto the bank a couple feet, and now they can go down to the water and get it. This crocodile discovered what they had done and came around the poles in the middle of the night, went back into the water right where they felt safe. And literally first morning, they go out there, fill up with water, boom, crocodile grabs one. I can't remember if they saved the person and it ripped their arm off or if it killed the person. But I watched this like 10-part series online the other day, and I'm like, this is nuts, man. Like people
Yeah.
are still every day. This is what they deal with.
Yep. Yep.
I
Oh,
can't
my
even
cell
imagine.
phone battery ran out. Boo hoo.
Dude, the problems that we deal with are just not problems at all.
At all. At
No.
all. So, you know who Jim Shockey is,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Jim Shockey is this world class hunter, explorer, naturalist. Like the dude knows about Indian history, evolution. Well, anyway, he had a television show back in the day. I think it was called Uncharted or something like that with Jim Shockey.
He had
Uh,
Uncharted, but then he had another one.
yeah. Anyway, one of those episodes is him going to a village in Africa and hunting these crocodiles that are killing humans, eating
Yeah.
humans. And so he's going through the town, and his translator's talking to people and showing them scars. Dude, there are people with no feet. There's people with no arms, like missing legs, scars up and down their whole body from these crocodiles. And my thought is like, okay, cool. You've identified the problem. Why are you now continuously going back? Like, how are these crocodiles winning is what I want to know, especially with humans and rifles and guns and like the brain capacity of a human being.
I mean, dude, they're just such cunning animals. Have you seen the videos where they're inches under the surface and you just can't tell at all?
And then they like what's those animals come down to drink like a zebra. They'll grab a
Yeah.
full-blown zebra, and in a matter of a second, it's under the water and it's just ripples.
Yeah.
And you
Just
never see
gone.
them again.
I saw one. I mean, like cats have phenomenal reflexes.
Yeah.
I watched a crocodile catch a cheetah that was drinking. And I'm like, you're talking the fastest land animal on earth with some of the best instincts and reflexes out there. And this crocodile came up, boom, grabbed it,
Smokes it.
underwater, done.
Gone.
And I'm just like, man, people don't stand a chance.
Yeah. And
But
what's
also,
more
like,
impressive,
There's
go ahead.
thousands of these animals. So, like, how do
Yeah.
you take care of all? I mean, you would almost have to build a whole cage that goes out into the water with a door on it, so the gators can't get through. You can get in, they can't get in, because I mean, they tried to outsmart. They tried to do something to keep the gators out of a certain area. The gators just went around it and waited,
Yep.
and it was even easier.
Yep. The other thing is like you've seen the wildebeest crossings at probably these same rivers where they know what's in the water and they still are forced to jump in. And I don't ever think it's like the first one that comes through. It's almost like they wait for the herd to be in there.
Yeah.
And that's when they attack. They never go after the first one. They're going after like the 15th one. And it's just out of the blue, you'll just see one go whoop like a bobber when you're fishing.
Yeah. Have you seen the aerial, like the drone shots or the helicopter shots of it? And you see hundreds of wildebeest or zebra going across, and you just see ripples coming from every like
Dinosaurs, dude. Dinosaurs.
50 giant crocodiles all coming in.
Yep.
If you were in a herd of 300 zebras, you were one of the 300, what number would you be to go across?
Ooh, probably 150th.
Just right in the middle.
Right in the middle of the herd. That way, they would have to go through all of the other zebras to get to me. The other thought process is the last one, because they've had their pick and they've probably found success. Getting what they want, because it is literally it's fish in a barrel. They can swim up, boop, gone.
Dude, and these things are so big, they death roll and rip a whole like imagine a horse.
Yep.
and they're just
Yep.
grabbing the whole butt or the whole head in the jaws and then just spinning and ripping it in half.
Yeah. So that to me is where I become kind of a psychopath. I don't know why it's so cool to see a zebra's face get ripped off by a crocodile, but I enjoy that. Is that wrong to enjoy brutal nature videos like that?
Dude, you are not alone and
Thank
you
you.
are not wrong.
I
Nature is
appreciate that.
metal. Nature is brutal. Nature is, I mean, there's so many pages dedicated
Unforgiving.
to the dark side of nature.
Yep.
Like, all of these pages are just crazy things. Like, freaking seagulls eating squirrels. Didn't know that was a thing. I've seen that on those pages.
Yeah.
I've seen, I mean, any number of things. And it's really crazy when people get involved and they're like, oh, I'm going to mess with this, like stupid Yellowstone tourists that want to
Mm-hmm.
go up to a bison and the bison just launches them in the air.
Those are my favorite. And here's why. Because there are people that are so, they think Disney movies are real. Like you can go and talk to a buffalo. Hey, how are you? And then that buffalo just does one little whoop, launches them 30 feet in the air.
Gone.
Gone. Gone.
Those
But
and the people who taunt bulls,
oh, yeah.
like those
Yes.
guys who are like, ugh, and they're messing with the bull. And all
Then
of a
they get
sudden
the
it actually
horns.
they actually get the horns. And I'm
Yep.
like, yep, yep, that's what
Yep.
you get, you know?
Or when the lion attacks the what's the bit they call it Black Death. It's
Oh,
one of
yeah,
the
the Cape Buffalo.
Cape buffaloes, and they get them in the horns and gets them in the guts, and then they rip their guts out. Damn,
To
damn,
see
dude.
a lion, a several 100-pound killer,
Mm-hmm.
just get tossed.
Tossed. Yeah.
I got a video. Well, I didn't get the video. My boss got a video. They had just got back from Africa hunting, and he gets a video from his professional hunter,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a video of a Cape buffalo charges these two dudes that are hunting. This is a week after they're home.
Yeah.
They're shooting at this thing. One guy dives for the bushes. This thing's just got its head down to the ground, and you can't see the guy. He's somewhere under a bush. His buddy's circling, trying to shoot it. This guy gets up and starts running out from under the bush. Boom, the buffalo comes at him again. And then right before it gets to him, the guy like puts it down. And he's like, dude, he just sent us this video. This just happened earlier today. And he
Talk.
goes, the guy suffered, he goes, he started laughing. He goes, the PH said he suffered 2 injuries, a broken collarbone, and he crapped his pants. And I'm like, dude, that's the fact that he got away with just that is pretty good. Because, I mean, these things are like
800
rodeo bulls
pounds.
on
Oh,
crack.
yeah.
And they herd up. And it's like,
Yep.
even if a lion gets one of them, the whole herd comes back after the lions.
Yeah.
And you can
Yeah.
see in the lions, I mean, those lions are gone. They're like, nope,
Yeah.
don't want anything to do with that many of them.
Have you seen the videos of the leopards in the Amazon jungle jumping out of trees on top of these crocodiles and then biting
Yes.
them on the back of the neck? Or the
Stalking
episode
them in the water.
in the water, or the leopard is drinking and the crocodile comes up and bites it, and then they go underwater, and then the leopard comes out of the water with the crocodile in its mouth.
Dude,
That
those
shit
are
is
some
crazy.
of the scariest animals out there. I think that's the biggest cat in South America is the
Yep.
jaguar, and they just kill. I mean, killing anacondas and
Yeah.
pythons, and like these things are trying to tangle them or like wrap
Mhm.
around and suffocate them, and these things just like one bite perfectly placed on the back of the head, and then all of a sudden the snake
It shuts
goes
off.
limp.
Yeah.
And dude, there was a video. This one was in Africa. A leopard that they had caught, put in the back. I mean, they just drive these little Toyotas around with this
Mhm.
cage. So the guy is like poking at this leopard in the cage. Finally, they go to let it out, and the guy's in his front seat. the leopard immediately comes out and goes to the window, and the guy doesn't get the window cranked up in time, and it shreds him. I mean, this cat is 3/4 of the way. Only its butt and tail are out of the guy's car or out of the guy's truck. And I mean, he came out, his arms were just ribbons, and the cat ended up running off. But I'm like, dude,
That
you're sitting there poking this thing over and over and over. And like, what do you think is going to happen?
yeah,
It knows you're a threat,
yeah,
and it's going to deal with the threat every time.
yeah. What's crazy is how insignificant humans are in the chain, the wild, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The food chain.
If we
A
didn't
gr-
have fire technology and like brain power, we'd be
Yeah.
toast. We'd all be dead.
We're so soft. What's crazy is like a bobcat, which is the size like 15 pounds, maybe 20 pounds, could really mess up a human really
Yeah.
bad. If you got it in the back of the neck, you could throw it because it's light. But like a grizzly bear, one-on-one, you're toast. This whole thing about 100 men versus a gorilla, one silverback gorilla. Have you seen that? Everybody's
Dude,
talking about that.
I didn't know it was a thing. I mean, I don't think I ever saw the original, but I've seen everybody's take on it.
Yeah,
And I'm like, 100 men versus one gorilla. I think it would kill the first 40 that fast.
yeah,
I just
So-
don't know stamina wise
yeah.
how long it would last.
So here
But even
is-
then, like, unless we had weapons,
yeah,
they're
I mean,
still
if
all dead.
yeah. Here's the deal. I was watching two gorillas fight each other at a zoo. Now, this may be our cheat code here because we have the ability to maybe do a little strategy. A gorilla is going to come full force right away, and he's
Yep.
going to destroy the first thing that he touches, and it's going to get ripped into parts, and then men will start to run away because
Yeah.
men have fear. This animal doesn't have fear. But with that said, when I watch these whether it's in the wild or in a zoo, what they don't do, the gorillas aren't biting the other gorillas.
No. They're
So-
beating them to death.
Exactly. But so what I'm getting at is if a gorilla decides to bite you, you're done. You're toast.
Sure.
But if he doesn't bite you, then there's more of a chance to come and gang up on him. But I'm telling you right now, it would be hard for the next 99 men to muster the guts to go fight this thing, especially if it's cornered.
They would all have to be on meth.
Okay. There's the problem right there. You
Yeah.
get a juice head, like some dude is, you put Mark Henry, one of the, like that, you put Mark Henry on meth against a gorilla, the gorilla's still going to win because of blood loss, but trying to get, like back in World War II, all of the Nazis were on drugs and meth
Oh, yeah.
to get them keeping them awake and fighting harder and longer. Like
Yep.
Vikings, when they were on they'd take those mushrooms where they couldn't feel pain. They would get shot with like 3 arrows, but keep fighting. That's the secret.
Dude, all you have to do is play a video of 8 cops trying to take down one meth head.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, these guys are struggling. I mean, it might take them 5 minutes to restrain this 130-pound dude on meth.
Mm-hmm.
And they struggled to do it.
Yeah.
Now think of that dude being a 400-pound bodybuilder who's always had to fight and beat to death other 400-pound bodybuilders. How many guys?
0.
You can't, even if you got a hold of its fingers, it's not like you could break its finger.
It would just go
You're-
like this and crush your hand.
You're not going to do any type of you won't do any type of damage physically with your bare hands.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Poke some
Okay.
eyes out, maybe.
Okay.
Like, maybe that works, but I don't know.
Name an animal. So, like, if I put you, it was one on one, where would you have the most fear? You and a gorilla or you and a grizzly bear? Like, what animal would you just, if you saw it when you're out on one of your hunts and it was maybe coming towards you, what animal do you have the most fear about?
Hold that thought.
Yep. I I'm gonna go right now, and while he's doing his little business deal here, I'm gonna go with a crocodile because imagine, let's say you're down at the Lake of the Ozarks, right? And you're swimming, you're having a great time, and then all of a sudden you see someone just get yanked underneath the water. I think my fear would come on the things that you cannot see, like an alligator or maybe a giant anaconda or I don't know, a leopard in a tree that just takes you by complete surprise.
Dude, if we're adding water animals into it, I don't
Yeah.
think there's any scarier animal on the planet than an orca.
I am going to
They
agree with you.
are so smart.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there have been the articles lately of them disabling boats. Have you seen that?
Like biting the motors on them.
Yeah, it happened. They said they've been teaching each other it across oceans. Like, they have been teaching each other how to disable this stuff. You gotta dive into this article because there was like 4 or 5 cases of it over off the coast of Europe. And then the next year there was like 30 cases of it. And then the next year there was like 200 of it. And then all of a sudden they started doing it off the west coast of the US in Alaska. And it's like, this never happened before.
Yeah.
And then it started happening and it's just been going like this because they've been teaching each other how to disable boats.
Yeah, that's bananas. That
Like, you're
and
not
that's
safe in a boat.
right. And that is an animal that raises its own young. Like sharks, they don't raise their young, I don't think, right?
Nope.
A shark has no emotion, which just in that makes it scary. But you take something with extreme intelligence that is also a death machine that is also can do those things, and they say that one of the most dangerous animals in North America is a mother grizzly bear
Yeah.
because they don't stop even when
No.
they're shot. Right? They will come and they'll kill you, like you're dead. But I would say like any animal, because I think orcas or killer whales and wolves are some of the only animals that kill for sport, meaning
Yep.
they go out and find like an elk herd or a pod of dolphins and they'll kill them just for fun,
Just to do it.
just to do it. That, my friend, is crazy.
And you think that they're tame in captivity.
Mm-hmm.
Like that one orca that's killed, I think 4 or 5 people now. Have you watched Blackfish, the Netflix documentary about orcas?
I don't think so.
There's not a scarier. Watch that documentary. There's not a scarier animal on the planet than an orca.
Okay.
It
Oh,
is
now I got
wild.
stuff to
It
do.
talks about these orcas and they'll toy with their trainers. Like when they kill them,
Mm-hmm.
they'll drag them down and then they'll let them go. And the trainer's back on the surface swimming to save their life. And then right before they get there, boom, grab them,
Pull them down again.
pull them down.
Yeah.
And nobody can do anything about it. Like, there's not a single thing you can do about that when you're
Yeah.
seeing it happen.
It's not like SeaWorld has a just in case, like smash glass for harpoon type of scenario
No.
where it's like, okay,
And
well, if
even
shit gets
then-
out of hand, you're going to kill this animal in front of all these people.
Even then, like, what weapon do you use against an orca
When
that's
it's
going to
20
kill
feet.
it instantly?
Yeah. And it's also 20 feet under the water.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I'm out on that. What about land animals though? Like bringing it only to land animals. Say
Well,
let's take let's take elephants out of the equation
okay.
because they're just so much bigger than everything else.
Yep. I like that.
Aside from that, like what land animal do you not stand any like if it wanted to kill you, you'd be dead, period. You can't run fast enough to get away from it. You can't just climb a tree. You can't fight it off.
Yeah. I'm going to like obviously the two main ones are the gorilla and the grizzly bear.
Yep.
Those two, polar bear, even kind of the same thing. Like if you were walking over a hill and it was walking over a hill and you met face to face, like a Kodiak brown bear, those things are so huge, right? But I think the thing that creeps me out probably the most is when I was in Idaho and you could hear wolves howling. Those animals are so smart
Yep.
that and it's not one like 1v1, I wouldn't be afraid, but where there's one, there's usually five.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's like, have you ever seen the movie Jurassic Park where the one dinosaur raptor makes itself known and all the eyes and attention are on it, but then it's a side attack that gets them,
Yep.
right? They sneak around, they flank their position, and they side attack. Dude, you cannot defend yourself in that.
No. The thing about wolves that's so scary, a wolf pack, even if you had a gun, you would die.
Run out of bullets.
Like I'm not talking like you're seeing them, you get like you shoot them. I'm talking these wolves are actively hunting you,
Yes.
and you have any gun. Doesn't matter what. You could have a full auto AK.
Yep.
Odds are you're dead if there's 8 wolves.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you'd have to be a good shot. Or like, what's that guy's name? He was in the movie Taken.
Oh yeah, Liam Neeson.
Yeah. So he was in a movie where I think he got into a plane. He was a guy. There was wolves attacking oil workers. And so the gray. Yes. And so the last scene of the movie is him with all these broken pieces of like liquor bottles on his hand, and he duct taped it to his hand because he was out of bullets. And then the wolf shows up and it's getting ready to be a fist fight, and then the movie's over. But like, imagine having to dip your hands in glass like the movie Bloodsport. Have you seen the movie Bloodsport?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Dude.
And great movie.
That's your last defense, man. Like This is it.
Yep.
When you think about animals and just how devastating they are, I think about something small like a house cat.
Yep.
I would not want to fight a house cat.
No.
They're not going to kill you by any means, but they would slice you up so bad.
Bite you.
Even if you went to kick it, it would just latch on, climb up your leg, biting and clawing the whole way. Or a raccoon. Like they're agile.
Have you ever had to grab have you ever had to grab a full grown raccoon before? Have you ever done that?
After it's been shot and partially alive, yes.
Okay.
But never just grab. Normally, when I would catch him, it would be in a live trap, and then I would just dispatch him in a live trap.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine actually having to like wrangle a raccoon.
So I had to put on like welding gloves because I didn't want it to bite me or bite through the welding gloves. And so I was in a barn and this guy wanted this raccoon out of there. And I'm like, okay, well, we tried to shoo it out with shovels and brooms and stuff like that, and it didn't work. And so I backed it into a corner and I grabbed it, and it did try to bite the glove, but the glove was too thick and it didn't do anything. But it was violently thrashing. And now imagine holding a 15-pound, I don't know, like a weight, and it just vibrating violently.
Like a shake weight.
A shake weight, but less gay.
Like a shake weight with claws and teeth.
Exactly.
That's soft.
Exactly. And it went crazy. And I dropped it and it ran out of the barn, luckily. But that was an oh shit moment where I thought, oh, I'm going to have to get a rabies shot.
Yeah.
So,
I caught a hawk one time,
with
And
your
that
bare
was
hands.
just seeing. I caught it with a cardboard box. It was in our office building, and I'm in a meeting. I've got two different VPs sitting in the meeting, and my boss, and we're all like brainstorming ideas. And all of a sudden, we get a knock on the door, and this other VP from a totally different department comes in, and he's freaking out.
Yeah.
He's like, guys, there's a huge bird in the hallway. And we're like, dude, what are you, like, we're in the middle of a meeting. What are you talking about? He's like, seriously, you got to come out here. Well, all of these other people are like just city people, right?
Yeah.
So they're just like setting their notepads down, closing their computers, walking out. And I just look over, and here's a box that must have just come from Amazon with like dry erase markers and all this stuff for the whiteboard. So I go over to the box and I start dumping it out. And the VP of my department goes, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, he said there's a big bird in the office. Like, I'm going to get it and take it outside.
Yeah.
And he just looked at me like, are you Steve Irwin? Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, no, I'm just a country boy. Like, if there's an animal where it's not supposed to be, you remove the animal.
All right, everybody, calm down. I got this.
That was pretty good, dude.
Well,
I walk out in this hawk. It's a big red-tailed hawk. I mean, a big one. And it's sitting on a windowsill at the corner of the hallway. Like the hallway comes and then makes a hard left turn, and it's sitting on the windowsill overlooking a warehouse, and it has nowhere to go. And there's 20, 30 people around it. So I just walk up with the box, and I pin, like, it bounces from one spot to another, and I just kind of wait till it's chill, and then I put the box over the top of it, and I fold the flaps in after the box is over it, and I just turn and I start walking outside, and everyone's like, Dan, oh
hero!
My gosh. For real, they're cheering, they're following me outside. Like, I go outside, and I open the box in the parking lot, and then I just tip it over, pick the box up, and start backing up. And the hawk's just sitting there like, what the heck? And then flies away. And everyone's like, yeah, you did it. And I'm like,
you felt like a stud for weeks after that.
No, I honestly was like, man, these people, like, what would they would have to call animal control.
Right.
Like, I've never called animal control for anything in my life. The only thing I call about is like ants, right? It's like, hey, can you come spray the perimeter of my house for me? But if there's an animal, you just take care of it. And
right.
I forget that people don't deal with animals on a regular basis. I mean, I've done stuff like that with possums. Baby deer one time got stuck in the square fencing on my buddy's ranch. It was running behind its mom, and she jumped the fence, and it just went head first. And so its arms got pinned back by its side, and it was just stuck. And so we went over, had to pull it out, throw it over the fence, and it ran off. I mean, tons of different things like that.
Love it.
But anyways.
Well, you got stuff to do.
Yeah.
I got a meeting right now. This was a good therapy session. We found out a lot today about Mother Nature and her giving absolute zero fucks about you
whatsoever
or anybody.
I think Mother Nature needs 2 Ds in her life.
Oh. I bet you she's tough enough where she's had them too.
It's never going to get old.
No,
We're
it's
going to
not.
make this joke a million times, guys.
We're going to beat it to death.
We're going to beat 2 Ds to death.
To death. Absolutely. Dan, I always enjoy this, and we'll talk to you next week, my friend.
Sounds good, man. We'll see you.